सत्संगत्वे निस्संगत्वं निस्संगत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे।
शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं तत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। नारायणः परो व्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्रिमे लोका सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः. So in this 13th chapter we are now entering into the shloka number 19 that describes how this whole creation comes about by the participation of the Prakriti on one hand and the Purusha, Jiva on the other hand, and the manager of both these Prakriti and Purusha is Ishvara. So there are three entities involved here: Ishvara, Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha is the Jiva. So tatra saptame Ishvarasya dve Prakriti upanyasте parapare kshetra kshetragna etad yoni bhutani iti cha uktam. So in the 7th chapter, Bhagavad Pada is giving the link to the 7th chapter from this 13th chapter. Ishvarasya dve Prakriti. Two Prakriti. Prakriti means cause. Prakriti, the one main meaning of Prakriti is cause. So two causes of Ishvara. That is, it's not two causes which bring about Ishvara, but two causes which Ishvara has in his hands with a view to create the Jagat world. So Ishvara has two causal factors with which he creates the whole universe. Dve Prakriti Upanyaste Parapare Kshetra Kshetragna Lakshane. Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. These are the two terms used in the 7th chapter. Para Prakriti refers to the Jiva and Apara Prakriti refers to Prakriti or Maya or Mula Prakriti, Trigunatmika Maya. That is Jada Shakti. Parapare Kshetra Kshetragna Lakshane, and the Para Prakriti corresponds to the word Kshetragna in the 13th chapter, and the Apara Prakriti term in the 7th chapter corresponds to the word Kshetra or term Kshetram in the 13th chapter. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya. So in that 7th chapter it was stated that these two are the yoni. Yoni is causes. Prakriti is one name for cause, and yoni is another name for cause. Karanam is another name for cause. So there are several several synonyms for that. So etad yonini bhutani. So this whole creation has these two causes. That is Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti for their creation. Iti cha ukta. Kshetra Kshetragna Prakriti dvaya yonitvam katham bhutanam iti ayamartaha aduna uchade. So how does these two, that is the Prakriti and Purusha, come bring about this samsara or the prapancha? That is the question here that is addressed here. What roles do they play? What exactly they create? Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidhi Anadi Ubhavapi Vikaransya Gunashchaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. Prakriti is the Mula Prakriti. Purusha is the Jiva. These two together are to be known as Vidhi Anadi Ubhavapi. These two are Anadi. They don't have a beginning. They are there eternally. They have been there eternally. But then there will be a end to them when the one particular jiva gains or secures self-realization. that marks the end of a jiva called Purusha and the Prakriti called this cause. So these two come to an end, and only then for that Purusha, for that Jnani only, these two will continue. That is the idea. Prakritim Purusham Cheva Vidhi Anadi Upavapi Vikaransya Gunanshcheva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Now, Vikaran and Guna, Vikara and Guna, these are two terms which are going to be explained here. Vikara is actually transformations. Guna are the kind of effect by interacting with the vikaras. So these two are to be seen as the products of Prakriti, Vidya Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakritim Purusham Cheva Ishwarasya Prakriti Tau Prakriti Purushau Ubhavapi Anadi Vidhi Na Vidyate Adihi Yayoho Tau Anadi. So Prakritim Purusham Cheva, Prakriti and Purusha is a Jiva. Ishwarasya Prakriti Tau. These two are the powers or inputs with which Ishvara creates this universe. Prakriti Tau, Prakriti Purushau, Ubhavapi, both of them are to be known as Anadi. The Bhagavad Gita gives a Bahuvrihi Samasa compound for this word. Anadi. So the word Anadi is in the dual number form, Dvivachanam. Anadi, na vidyate adihi yayoho tau anadi. So these two do not have any beginning. What's termed by Adi is beginning. And we can also say that Adi is also conveys the meaning of cause. These two do not have a cause. In the sense, Jiva does not have a cause, and Prakriti also does not have a cause, which has produced Prakriti or which has produced the Jiva. So that way also we can take. So Prakriti and Purusha are to be known as something which do not have a cause or which do not have a beginning. So these are the two meanings which are possible. Nityeshwaratvat Ishwarasya tat Prakritiyorapi Yuktam Nityatvena Bhavitam. Bhagavad Gita gives a reasoning here. These two are termed Anadi, that is Nitya. Anadi means they don't have a beginning. And what it means is they will be eternal. So Nityeshwaratvat Ishwarasya, since Ishvara is also eternal, Nityeshwaratvat, Ishvara is also eternal, it is quite in place that these two are also eternal. So samsara is eternal and Ishvara is the cause of samsara, and Ishvara uses these two, Purusha and Prakriti, to create and sustain and ultimately withdraw the samsara. So all the three, Ishvara, Prakriti and Jiva, all the three have to be Nitya. That is the reasoning Bhagavad Gita is giving here. Prakriti Dvayavattvameva ki Ishwarasya Ishwaratvam. So he also further confirms that Ishvara's Ishwaratva is also reasonably established, that because he is Prakriti and Prakriti Dvaya, that is, are the causes with which Ishvara creates this universe. So Ishvara's Ishwaratvam will be possible only if these two are there. So that is the idea. So otherwise, there is no meaning in calling Ishvara as Ishvara, because Ishvara, if he has to be Ishvara, he has to have these two with him to produce. If he doesn't have these two, then Ishvara cannot be called Ishvara. That is the idea. Yabhyam Prakritibhyam Ishvaraha Jagadutpatti Sthiti Pralaya Hetuho Te Dve Anadau Satyau Anadi Satyau Samsarasya Karanam. So with these two causal factors, that is Prakriti and Purusha, Ishvara becomes the cause of the creation, sustenance and absorption of this universe. Te Dve Anadi Satyau Samsarasya Karanam. So these two are Anadi. Being Anadi, these two are the cause of samsara. So if you ask who is the cause of samsara, one answer will be Ishvara is the cause of samsara. If by further questioning, how does Ishvara become the cause of samsara? Ishvara becomes the cause of samsara through the Prakriti and Purusha, through the operation of Prakriti and Purusha together. Now there is Bhagavad Gita takes a viewpoint of some Ekadeshi, that is some viewpoint is there which questions this kind of meaning given to this shloka, especially for the word anadi. So, na adi anadi iti tatpurusha samasam kechit varnayanti. So, some people break or parse the compound word anadi into through a tatpurusha samasa. There are several samasas, and Bhagavad had used the bahuri samasa, and some people try to advance this argument, saying that this word anadi has to be parsed this way only. Na adi anadi iti. That is, those which are not the beginning, those which are not the first, those which are not the first, they are called anadi. So we can see the contrast. Bhagavad gave the for the samasa, that which does not have a beginning, or that which does not have a cause, that is anadi. But this person is giving another way of interpreting the word anadi. He says, na adi anadi, that is, those which are not the beginning are to be said anadi, and he gives a reason also why he says that. Kechit varnayanti. Tena hi kila ishwarasya karanatvam siddhati. So that person argues that only when you take that these two are not the beginning, only then Ishvara can be held to be the cause of samsara. Otherwise, what happens? He says, yadi punaha prakriti purushayoho purushaveva nitya usyatam tatkritameva jagate Ishvarasya jagataha kartartvam. If you say that the Prakriti and Purusha also have been from the beginning, without any beginning, they have been always there, then one can easily say that Prakriti and Purusha only have brought about this samsara, jagat, that is this world, and therefore Ishvara will be rendered redundant. So Ishvara is not needed at all. These two themselves can create the samsara. So if you accept that these two are do not have a beginning, then this will be a problem. Tat asate, Bhagavad refutes that kind of an argument, saying, he gives a reason also why he refutes it. Prakriti Purushayoho Utpattehe Ishatavya Abhavat Ishwarasya Anishwaratva Prasangat. If you say that Prakriti and Purusha in the beginning, but they have a beginning, they come into the picture only later, then Ishvara is there already, but Prakriti and Purusha come later, then what the problem is? The problem will be before the creation of this Prakriti and Purusha, Ishvara will not have a role at all, because Yeshitavi Abhavat, he will not have anything to control or manage. So Ishvara, the very word Ishvara, has this component called Yeshitavya. If he has to be an Ishvara, he has to have someone upon whom he lords over. Ishvara, the word Ishvara has got a meaning Lord. So if you say a person is a manager, he has to have something to manage. If there is nothing for him to manage, you can't call him a manager. That is the idea. So if Prakriti and Purusha are not in the beginning and they come into the picture later on, but Ishvara is there in the beginning itself, then Ishvara cannot be called Ishvara, because he will not have anything to manage at all. Yeshitavya abhavat Ishvarasya anishwaratva prasangat. Then Ishvara will become redundant and he will become incapable of managing, or he will become totally meaningless. Samsarasya nirnimittatve anirmoksha prasangat. And this situation also will give rise to another situation, that samsara is without any cause. So if samsara is without any cause, then anirmoksha prasangat, there is nothing called, there is no way that there can be moksha at all, because samsara does not have a cause, but samsara is there. Without having any cause, samsara is there. But to eradicate samsara, one has to address the cause. But if there is no cause at all to be addressed, then samsara will never be possible to be in moksha prasangat. Shastra anarthake prasangat. The shastram, the moksha shastram, is there only with a view to help the aspirants to gain moksha. But since moksha is impossible in this scenario, the shastram also will become redundant, be useless. Then bandha moksha abhava prasangacha. Then another problem will be that there is no bondage and there will be no moksha also, because bondage is something which has to have a cause and which has to end at some time, and moksha is something which is which will actually result from the annulment of the bandha. But then bandha and moksha are admitted to be without any beginning. without any beginning. In the sense, moksha, if it is said that moksha has a beginning, then moksha will come to an end. And bandha will have to be admitted to be anadi. If it is having a cause, then we have to say what that cause is, why it suddenly started. So that is why bandha is admitted to be anadi. Samsara is said to be anadi. And here one more point is there to be noted. Samsarasya nirnimittatve anirmoksha prasangat. That is, only if there is the jiva which is anadi, the anadi karma is there to continue, perpetuate the samsara. But then if there is no jiva at the beginning, if jiva has to be said to be coming to the picture at some point of time, then samsara cannot be accounted for at all, because there's nothing which has caused samsara. The karma has to be the cause of samsara. But if the jiva himself is to come into being at some particular time, there won't be karma at all in his hands to cause samsara. These are all the problems. Nityatve punaha ishwarasya prakritiyoho sarvametat upannam bhavet. But if we admit this jiva and prakriti to be nitya, that is anadi, then ishwarasya prakritiyoho sarvametat upannam syat. Ishvara and Prakriti, these two, Prakritiyoho. Ishvarasya Prakritiyoho sarvametate upannam syat bhavet. So then we will not have any of these problems at all. So we have to accept these two to be anadi, and naturally Ishvara also to be anadi. Now he is moving on to the explanation of the second line of the sloka. Vikaransya gunansya vakshyamanan vikaran बुद्ध्यादि देहेन्द्रियान्तान् गुणांश्च सुख दुःख मोह प्रत्ययाकार परिणतान् विद्धि जानीहि प्रकृति संभवान् प्रकृतिः ईश्वरस्य विकारा कारण शक्तिः. So here there are two terms there, vikara and guna. So vikaranshcha gunanscha vakshyamanan vikaran. The vikara is transformations, that is products, what it has brought into effect. Those effects will be enumerated in the next shloka and all that. So the Bhakshamanan Vikaran Buddhyati Dehendriyantan. So what they are, he is saying in a concise form. Buddhyadi Dehendriyantan. Buddhi is the intellect. Adipadena, the other things like Chittam, Ahankara, Manas and all that, Indriyas and all that, Dehendriyantan, the gross body and the sense organs and the motor organs, all of them together, body-mind complex, you can say. Gunanscha Sukha Dukkha Moha Pratyayakara Parinatan. So by the term guna in this sloka, what we have to take is sukha dukkha moha pratyayakara parinatan. That is, sukha dukkha is sukha is the result of sattva, dukkha is the result of rajas, and moha is the result of tamas. So the sattva, rajas, and tamas, these three things put together, and their products are called guna here. Pratyayakara parinatan. Vidhi janihi prakriti sambhavan. So now what he is effectively saying here is, vikara is the instrument with which a jiva interacts with the outside world and gets the effect called sukha, dukkha, moha. And those three will become the gunas or the gunas. So by vikara is meant the means or the instruments, and by guna, the effect that is brought but that is experienced by interacting with the outside world through these instruments. Then prakriti. So these are to be known to be prakriti sambhavan, vikaranscha, gunanscha. Both this, that is the instrument factor and the effect of those instruments like sukha, dukkha, and all that. They are all to be known to be products of Prakriti. That's what is stated here effectively. Prakriti hi Ishwarasya vikara karana shakti hi trigunatmika maya. So Prakriti is the one which helps Ishvara to create this world. Vikara karana shakti hi. Ishwarasya vikara karana shakti hi. So vikara, actually Ishvara doesn't undergo vikara, but Prakriti is the one which undergoes vikara. But this is the one, Prakriti is the one shakti that is in the hands of Ishvara to bring about the vikara. So vikara karana shakti Trigunatmika Maya. So it's called Trigunatmika Maya, Sattva-Rajas-Tamo Guna. Sambhavo Yesham Vikaranam Gunanam Chetan Vikaran Gunasya Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan Prakriti Parinitam Parinaman. So Prakriti is the one which creates the instruments, and that is the one which brings about the effects of effects like Sukham, Dukkham and Moha and all that. So all these things belong to the Prakriti side. So that's, we can also relate these two, that is the Vikara and Guna, to the word Kshetra. In the beginning we have said in this chapter itself, by Kshetra it was stated that Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. So that's the sloka is there, famous sloka is there. Indriyani Dashaikancha Panchata Indriya Gocharaha. So the Panchabhutas and the Ahankara, etc. at the cosmic level and the individual level also, and Panchacha Indriya Gocharaha, that is the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, and Icha Dvesha Sukham Dukkham Sangatash Chetana Dhritihi. So all that, the whole thing is called Kshetra, and that is what is being condensed in these two terms, Vikara and Guna, by saying that the instrument part of it and the effect of activating those instruments on the outside world. So this whole thing is called the Prakriti. Prakriti is the one which brings about these things. Vikaranscha Gunanscha. Okay, now the commentary for this shloka is over. Now we get into the next shloka. Ke punaha te vikaraha gunascha prakriti sambhavaha. So what was stated as Prakriti, Guna and Vikara and Guna in the previous shloka, they are being enumerated, what they actually constitute. कार्यकरण कर्तृत्वे हेतुः प्रकृतिरुच्यते पुरुष सुखदुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतुरुच्यते. Karyakarana means the body mind complex and the sukha dukkha and all that, which are actually products of this Prakriti. Karyakarana kartrutve hetuhu prakritiruchyate. So that is the one which brings about the Prakriti is the one which brings about the body mind complex and the sukha dukkha and all that. But then the sukha dukkha and all that are generated by the jiva by his becoming a bhokta. So Prakriti is the one which provides all the infrastructure for the Purusha to perform the bhoga. Because Prakriti is inert, it cannot do any bhoga by itself. So Prakriti does this, creates all these things, displays all these things only for the jiva to experience them or enjoy them. So Purushaha Sukha-Dukkhanam Bhoktrutve Heturuchyate. So Sukha and Dukkha, see, we have to note that from the previous shloka, Sukha and Dukkha, Moha and all that are products of Prakriti only, no doubt about it. But then Sukha-Dukkhanam Bhoktrutve, by in the enjoyment or in the experiencing of the Sukha and Dukkha and all that, Jiva has a role. So Prakriti does not have a role in the enjoyment proper. It has got a role only in producing these things. But then these things can come into being, Sukha, Dukkha and Moha can come into being only when the Purusha experiences them. So that is the idea. So Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktrutve Heturuchyate. So Purusha is the Bhokta. The Prakriti is the one which creates the infrastructure for the Bhoga to happen. So Karyakarana Kartrutve, Karyam Shariram. So he is giving the breakup meaning for every word. Karyam is Shariram, Karanani Tatsthani Trayodasha. Karanam, by the word Karana, we have to take the instruments that are there in the inside the body. Tatsthani Trayodasha. Trayodasha means 13. What are the 13? 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Jnanendriyas, and Manas, Buddhi and Ahankara. We can say 13. So this way we can account for 13. Then Deharambakani Bhutani Pancha Vishayascha Prakriti Sambhavaha. So Deharambakani Bhutani Pancha Vishayascha Prakriti Sambhavaha Vikaraha Purvoktaha. Then the Pancha Bhutas, Deharambakani Bhutani, Pancha Bhutas, Akasha, Vayu, etc. Vishayascha Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha Vishayaha Prakriti Sambhavaha. So these are also produced by Prakriti only. Vikaraha Purvoktaha Iha. So he is only referring to the 5th and 6th shlokas, which we now recall from this chapter only. So Vikaraha Purvoktaha, they have been stated before itself. Vishaya. For example, Panchacha Indriya Gocharaha, that is the word, that is the term which refers to this Vishaya here. Then Deharambasya Bhutani Mahabhutani Ahankaro Buddhir Abhyaktamevacha Indriyani Dashekancha Panchacha Indriya Gocharaha. So that shloka he is referring here in these words. Here Karya Grahanena Grihate. Karya means the body mind complex. Karya. So all this, the whole thing is now referred to as Karya here. Gunashcha Prakriti Sambhavaha Sukadukka Mohatmakaha Karanashrayatvat Karanagrahanena Grihante. By the word Karana, here we have to take the Sukadukka Moha, etc., which the ones which are produced as a result of this bhoga, as a result of the jiva interacting with the Prakriti. So Gunashcha Prakriti Sambhavaha. So Gunas also are the result of this Prakriti only, in the sense they are effects of this Prakriti only, produced by Prakriti only. Sukadukka Mohatmakaha Gunaha Karana here in this sloka, because they depend on the instruments of the jiva. So they are called Karana here in this sloka. Tesham Karyakarnana Kartatvam Utpadakatvam Yate Tate Karyakarana Kartatvam Tasmin Karyakarana Kartatve Hetu Karanam Arabhate. So in producing this body mind complex and the gunas, Prakriti has a key role to play. So that's what has been stated here. Prakriti Uchate. Evam Karyakarana Kartritvena Samsarasya Karanam Prakriti. So by this way, in this way, Prakriti becomes the cause of samsara. Evam Karyakarana Kartritvena. Karya is again the body, entire body mind complex put together. Then Karana is the word which signifies the Sukha, Dukkha, Moha, etc. So in this way, Prakriti is the one which causes samsara. So this is what is samsara. So when we say samsara, it includes the means for samsara and the effect of samsara. So these two put together is called samsara. So the means will be the body mind complex, that instrument part has to be there, and the effect also has to be there. So these two put together is called samsara. So Prakriti is the cause of samsara in this way. Then Bhagavad gives an alternative meaning for the word Karyakarana Kartatve by saying that in some reading, there is this Karyakarana Kartatve has been rendered as Karyakarana Kartatve. So that also has to be accounted for. So because there has been a popular reading in those days, so he says Karyakarana Kartatvam, Karyakarana Kartatve ityasmin upi pathe karyam yat yasya karyam yat yasya parinamaha tat tasya karyam vikaraha. So here the word karyam will get a different meaning. Yat yasya parinamaha tat tasya vikaraha. Tat tasya karyam vikaraha. That is the what undergoes transformation. So that is called parinamaha. That is called the transformation. Tat tasya karyam. So the karanam is the one which undergoes parinama to become karyam. That is the idea. The clay is the one which undergoes transformation to become pot. So karanam undergoes parinama to become karyam. So tat tasya karyam vikaraha. Vikari karanam tayoho. So vikari will be the karanam and the vikara will be the karyam. So that way that which has transformation in it is called vikari, and that which is the product of transformation is called vikara. So karanam and karyam have been explained here this way. Karanam tayoho vikara vikarinoho karya karanayoho kartritve iti. So vikara is the transformation, and vikari is the one which undergoes transformation. So in these two, the Prakriti is the cause for anything to undergo vikara, and the one which undergoes vikara. So this way Prakriti is playing a role here. Athava Shodasha vikaraha. So he is giving another meaning for this vikara term vikara. Shodasha vikaraha karyam sapta Prakriti vikritayaha. Shodasha vikaraha karyam sapta Prakriti vikritayaha karanam सप्त प्रकृतिविकृतयः कारणं तान्येव कार्यकारणानि उच्यन्ते तेषां कर्तृत्वे हेतुः प्रकृतिः उच्यते आरम्भकत्वेनैव. So there is a chart given by the Sankhya people. I will share this chart later on in the book so that you can see that and get an idea of what is stated in this particular line by Bhagavad. So I am not giving the description here. The chart will be very explanatory. Purushascha samsarasya karanam yatha syat tat uchate. So Purusha, that is the Jiva, he is also a cause of samsara. So the Prakriti is in one way cause of samsara and Purusha is the cause of samsara in another way. So some karanam yatha syat tat uchate. So that is being stated here. Purushaha jivaha kshetrajnaha bhokta iti paryayaha. So Purusha is given the name of Jiva. He is also called Kshetrajna. He is also called Bhokta. There are so many other names also, like other terms also, like Pramatru. Then Vijnanatma. These are all terms used for Jiva. Iti Paryaya. Paryaya is synonyms. Sukha-dukkha upalabdhritve hetuhu uchate. So Sukha-dukkha moha. These are all the Bhogya. Bhogya in the sense, these are all experienced by him. So that way they are all Bhogya. In the experiencing of the Sukha Dukkha Moha, Jiva plays a role. So the Prakriti cannot experience anything because it is Jada. It can only produce things. Then the one who experiences the Prakriti will be experiencing Sukha Dukkha Moha. That's why Jiva will be, Samsara means Sukha Dukkha Sakshatkara. There is one explanation for Samsara, definition for Samsara. What is Samsara? Samsara is Sukha Dukkha Sakshatkara. So it is realizing Sukha and Dukkha. That is itself samsara. Okay, we will end the session here. There is some more to be stated in this shloka itself as Bhashyam, some more part of the Bhashyam is there. Shastram Shariram Imamsa Devastu Parameshwara Acharya Shankaracharyaha Santume Janma Janma Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vitushekara Bharati